All right, look, we've already used up 1/3 of our cruise missiles in Iraq. We're not even sure if we killed Saddam, if we killed bin Laden. When we get the job done, we got to send somebody over here that can't be killed. 50 Cent. They shot him 9 times outside of his grandmother's house. And I saw him on TV on spring break yesterday. I'm not kidding. You heard what I said about 50 centavos? Ha! If you want to see the great cultural divide between us and Islam, just do what I did yesterday. I was switching back between the war and spring break. And you see all these kids driving from Wisconsin to Daytona, and then you have a busload of suicide bombers from Syria to, you know, Baghdad or wherever the hell they were going. It really is kind of interesting and ironic. Not necessarily laugh out loud. Patrice, let me ask you something. Last week, you said you weren't watching the war. Have you started watching it now?
Absolutely not.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Would you care to add on to that so I don't see you in
I mean, whatever. What? More war stuff?
You do watch the war.
Hey, did you hear about the Sheik?
No.
Tell him, Greg.
The what?
About the Sheik, yeah, Greg reads. Go ahead.
Yeah, it seems that Patrice and the Sheik had an assignation in his tent last week.
Oh.
And,
assignation?
What does that mean? That means like, I like that word, actually.
Thank you, buddy.
Now listen, what has most surprised you about the war? Anybody? Greg.
I think that more people protested before it started, you know what I mean? This isn't exactly Vietnam. Before the thing even got going, there was people out in the street misspelling signs asking me to give Peach a chance. And,
Well, I saw a protest start, they try to book Martin Sheen and then work their way down from there.
I'm all for the war, but I'm starting to get annoyed because it just seems like the government's telling us that, like, you know, they're going to be running out and greeting the soldiers with apple pie and love, and that's just not the case. They don't want us there. They don't want us.
Probably falafels and some lamb.
did you really believe that they were going to run out and greet us and gleefully throw down their weapons?
I did.
Now, let me ask you something. If Iraqis came to this country and they were trying to, you know, rid us of our despotic tyrant, would you throw down your stuff and run? Look, I've made falafel.
I'll answer that if you tell me why you got your outfit from the set of Poltergeist 2.
Now listen.
Hey.
If we're gonna get
That's not necessary. That wasn't necessary.
If we're going to get personal this early, it's going to get real ugly.
Yeah, that's true. He's true.
Listen, a civilized gentleman would like to speak.
Let middle-aged Buddy Holly say what he has to say.
Now listen.
I'm sorry. Listen, I agree with him.
I said in the 50s they shouldn't let Negroes on TV when that
Shut up.
All right, you're right.
First of all, let me just say this. Here's how polite of this war we're fighting. Today, they dropped in 120 lawyers, like military lawyers, to make sure we don't bomb the wrong places and everything's on the up and up.
Well, how bad is your life going to suck that you want to be a suicide bomber? I mean, that's actually that's an upswing from where I want to volunteer to, you know, strap
Jimmy,
some dynamite.
slow down. And first of all, he just asked about lawyers. Then you just asked about what
I said they dropped a bunch of suicide.
Jimmy, listen to the question. Say it one more time, Colin, would you?
I said they just dropped a bunch of lawyers.
Not suicide bombers prepared. Listen. That's right. Have a sip of calmness.
Jimmy, I did say...
Just let him relax, Colin. Don't. Okay, go ahead.
If I might say, I'm all for dropping lawyers into any wartime situation. In fact, I think the suicide bombers, if I may pick up Mr. Schubert's topic, should strap lawyers to them. There you go. The lawyers go at the same time.
Thanks for the assist. Yeah, thanks for the assist on that
I found out.
I like this.
By mistake, I watched 60 Minutes last night.
Yes.
And
did you have someone explain it to you?
T-bone something up.
Fantastic.
Footloose hair really got him.
Good one, Kevin Bacon's uncle. Now, I learned something about some Ayatollah El Hakim.
Right.
Could you reiterate on him?
Well,
You
the guy
can
was...
spell it, I'll give you $22.
Well, no, it's the guy that was... no, it's the guy that they're going to bring in, the Shiite Muslim guy that they killed. Saddam killed all his relatives now. He's the guy that might come back into power. Is that the guy you're talking about?
That was interesting.
So what do you think about this whole thing? It's kind of like we're going to let the Muslims, extremists, are going to have to run the country.
Well, that's what we did with Saddam Hussein. I mean, we created Saddam Hussein. Now they have another guy to create and put him in his place.
Right. Why don't you think...
Why do we do that all the time?
Because we do
that. We're all
at the
annoying
time, it's a good idea. You can't...
But I'm saying we leave people hanging, man. Why do we leave people hanging like this?
Well, we shouldn't let them hang. But I'm saying the other stuff, everyone's like, oh, you're with dictators. But that's the way it goes. You can't...
Afghanistan,
Why is it that only this country is held up to that standard. The rest of the world does hypocritical stuff. I mean, people are like, hey, everyone's against us. Russia, China, Germany, France. Yeah, and they have their own stupid motives, of course. So they act like somehow we're morally reprehensible when, you know, we're just doing our own thing for us, what's best for us.
Well, we don't leave people hanging, though. We don't leave people hanging. We never leave.
We do.
We've been in Korea for 40 years.
Afghanistan, England thinks right? England thinks I'm looking for help from Greg.
Oh, England, well, you guys are both English.
Yeah, we both go to England quite a bit. Don't travel. The English think we were late for the war or something like that. We never show up.
They're still angry about World War II.
Yeah, but they're doing good because Tony Blair really sells it. You have to admit that.
Yeah, he sells it better than Bush, I think. And I would have approved of Bush pushing us this way if he made the same kind of. Because Tony Blair gave the "I'm not your friend, I'm your leader" speech, and Bush just kept saying weapons of mass destruction over and over again because he learned that short phrase. And also, they can acquit themselves on their feet, the English leaders, man. You see, if you ever watch them do question time with the Prime Minister and stuff, they have to answer to the Parliament every week. And you don't really see Congress grilling Bush over an open fire that often. He kind of comes out, like today he's speaking to the Coast Guard, which is, of course, a very dangerous, seditious, liberal group to speak to. So he's taking a chance there, man.
I wish I had something to interject, but
I'm just what you're saying is his style of a content, but you ultimately think the content of Blair/Bush is correct.
I would think that Blair is taking a huge risk because his party can ask him, unlike in this country, his party can ask him to stand down and they can vote him out if they disapprove of what he does.
But somehow you're implying that that's a good method because you go, unlike in this country, like you don't like the democratic process, like somehow it's
that's
good
exactly
the way
what
they
I'm saying. I'm impugning the democratic process, Colin.
Well, you're implying when you
This is fantastic. Dueling rednecks. I've never seen. This is brilliant. More.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that he has to actually answer up, and I don't think Bush has had to answer up in 2 years' time, man.
That's right.
He hasn't had to answer to anybody except himself.
What are you kidding me? This whole war is an answer up. In my opinion, it should be like World War II, where FDR would just say, listen, here's the story. Those bombs you heard, we're bombing Germany. You people shut up and mind your business as we open 3 years.
Really? You want everybody to shut up and mind their business?
Yes.
Then why not move to Russia, man? Because people have to shut up and mind their business.
Would you like Colin Powell to come up to you and go, hey, Greg, I saw your act. Here's what you need to do. I'm a fan. You need to cut this thing. He doesn't know. You don't know the military.
No, you're right there. I don't know the military,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
The government doesn't know what's best for us, otherwise they wouldn't f*** us over every few years.
So you're not with the war, though. You're not for the war.
Did you really catch that?
Oh my God, I didn't.
Perhaps you'll notice over here, Patrice.
Wow. I'm sorry. I thought that was an AIDS penicillin. I didn't know what this stuff was. I'm for the. This is why I stopped watching the news.
You thought that was a Mercedes thing, didn't you?
Yeah, I really did. Or something Jewish. So, all
right, look. War never changes. This is the wrap-up, by the way, so shut it. Oh, look at that. You guys are really my favorite jail couple. I'm serious. But is that... Okay, basically all the top albums are black. The white albums don't sell as well lately. Because everybody downloads them. People are afraid to download the black albums because, you know, if they catch them, they'll put two in the back of their head. You know? All right, well, listen.
Well, let me tell you something about terrorists.
Okay.
Sorry.
Now, let me ask you this, Patrice. We all like rap, but you have to admit its message has definitely accelerated the decline of Western civilization. And, you know, we took...
How is that?
We took 2,000...
Whoa.
Let me finish. We took 2,000 years to build it up from Rome. You destroyed it in 18 years from Hollis, stupid.
Oh, you're trying to get your joke out. You're an ass.
Yeah.
Look, I'd like to explain, first of all...
I was trying to get a brilliant line out. You're right, I am an ass. Yeah. Meaning trying to get a brilliant thing that I wrote out.
Here's what I'm going to say with all my heart.
All right.
What musically have white people ever contributed to anything?
Riverdale.
He had to steal that from somewhere.
Rap music was stolen from Blondie's song Rapture.
Shut your stupid face.
That was the first rap song.
Let me say one thing. Look, as much as I'd like to be on his side, shut up.
Yes.
Stupidest. He got that. She got that from listening to rap.
Rap is good. Rap is shit.
White people's contribution to music is minimal, man. There's no question
classical
about
music.
that.
He agrees with me. I saw his half-hour special. Do that riff about how white people have nothing to add to society. I saw it.
See, I'm
we have
down.
nothing to add to society.
There's only two kinds of music: good music and bad music. Or not white and black music. Good music, bad music. Unfortunately. play. You know, the good stuff has become, you know, the fringe. Like, but there'll always be like, you know, a band like Nirvana come along. As long as Whitey can play guitar, we're still going to be okay.
Jimmy, let me ask you something. Did you ever think to yourself, calling Jeff and going, look, my throat's messed up, I'd like to reschedule it for next week? Look, you sound worse than I did.
Jesus
I got problems through my throat too. I got problems too.
There's nothing worse than a nervous sore throat.
It sounds like a damn Will Shorman cursing us out on the set. Hey, listen. I was here to review the book right now.
Can you leave retarded Troy Aikman alone? He made a good point.
Retarded Troy Aikman.
Jesus Christ.
You're right. The music being popular has nothing to do with the culture. No one cares about the culture because
Exactly, because
it's not about the culture because
it is about the culture.
No, it's not. Black singers were popular back in days where they were going to be shot for looking at a white lady in a convenience store.
They weren't popular. That's why white people had to steal it and make it popular, like Elvis.
Let Applause Break get his line out about having
Go ahead.
You phony bastard.
No,
I was trying to shoot them for looking at a white lady.
No, I had another joke.
Stupid.
I was going to say...
Skinhead, act like one. Go ahead.
No. That's right, lumberjack with AIDS. Spit your thing out, powder.
That should have done better.
Oh, no, it shouldn't have. It was mean and it hurt and it was accurate.
You know, at least rap music artists are afforded the, you know, the option of expressing their opinion, like when the Dixie Chicks little singer said she was ashamed of George Bush. All the country fans in that very open-minded, liberal, pro-war way burned the records, you know? And I find that when country stars say something, it doesn't really adversely affect my life that often. Like, you know, Toby Keith might be making a waitress cry in Alabama right now, and yet I get off scot-free, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna make that easy for layman's. Country music stinks. Rap is a better form of music. It's horrible.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It's horrible.
It does stink. It's awful.
The commercial stuff, you guys don't even know. I shouldn't even talk to you about.
Matter of fact, name one country.
Towns Van Zandt, stupid.
Excuse me?
The commercial stuff, like you're from the sticks, you're an Irish drunk from Brooklyn. What do you know about country music?
You had a good point there.
Irish music is country.
Irish music
It is country music. There was a land bridge that connected Ireland to Kentucky, and they came over with their banjos and their flutes and whatnot.
Yeah, you know, Colin, you're saying that just to keep it going, but you don't like country music.
I do like country music.
You don't like country music.
I like it.
Colin, you forget I know you.
Yeah.
You don't like country music. And you love rap, and you like to know about rap. You don't like rock and roll. All that
like
stuff.
rock, too.
Look, black music is the catalyst.
Nobody's
is that a good word? Is that the right word?
Yeah. Nobody's denying it.
It's a catalyst for everything else. Everything else.
But according to you, and I know you, black music, anything white people do is good, we stole from you.
Yes. Name one thing that you do naturally.
Computers.
That was Chinese. Don't laugh. That was either Arab or Chinese person.
Don't laugh.
Basketball was ours. Basketball was ours.
That's right.
They hijacked it.
You let us in. You better keep hockey.
They bum rushed it. Nothing? All right, when we come back, we'll check March Madness picks. Okay, you know, folks, lots of people love this time of year because March Madness. What you don't realize while you're sitting there eating the Tostitos and watching Marquette, we're on the verge of a bowel-shaking global apocalypse, all right? So I put together a little bracket of my own. This is my World War III bracket. With the first round done, I've narrowed it down to the elite 8 of countries going head-to-head for what's left of civilization. All right? With my lovely assistant, Jim Norton, I'll go through this. You love when they applaud like that. You're like, hey, I'm like a cult figure. Stupid, you're not. Place your bets. Let's start with the one in progress. United States versus Iraq. The Americans have been preparing for this ever since these two rivals met 10 years ago. Iraq has a few gutsy players, but grit only goes so far when your army transports its troops using an 82 Datsun hatchback. I don't know how much of a serious threat you are if you're barreling at me in the same car where Harry met Sally, all right? USA wins in a blowout. All right, now, Israel is small but incredibly scrappy. All right, however, their inability to play a crucial Friday night game, coupled with the Bobby Knight antics of Coach Sharon, leaves Israel's dance card in pieces by the hardwood. The Arab world wins in an upset. China, sorry, you know, this is, you know, you can't please everybody when you're doing a little odds making. China versus North Korea and Taiwan, okay? Korea looks good on paper and at May Day parades, but that's about it. Taiwan brings a massive army of child laborers and cheap shoes, but it's not enough. China barely breaks a sweat. Russia versus Chechnya, Kazakhstan, and Uzbekistan. 15 years ago, Russia lost these countries in a stunning upset. Well, revenge, like borscht, is a dish best served cold. And preferably with a side of sour cream. Russia wins in a nasty one. In the next round, we've got America versus the Arab world. The Arabs have a fundamentalist will to win, but no teamwork. The Arab world self-destructs, and this time it's not on purpose. Nothing. U.S. heads to the finals. China versus Russia. Russia's tough, but China's bench is deep, and I mean deep. Okay? Russia may have history on its side, but it's never faced a billion mop-top communists with a taste for blood and rice, all right? And yet, this time for Russia, China goes to the big dance. And so it comes down to this, China versus the United States. These heavyweights, when they go toe-to-toe, you know some nuclear sparks are going to fly. Now, the Americans, we got the money, we got the technology, and most of our population doesn't still ride a bike after age 12. But don't count China out. These are people who spent 1,000 years building a wall. All right? Meanwhile, people in this country won't buy mustard unless it's in a squeeze bottle. So when it comes to Armageddon, anybody can win on any given night. We'll leave this undecided for now. That's the bracket. So you know how this thing works. You work hard, try to pick the winners, and your receptionist wins the whole thing by picking Tajikistan because she liked the color of their uniforms. What can you do? We'll be right back. Welcome to a crazy little thing we call Act 4. Woo! Love songs. We all criticize the music. I think we did, but we're supposed to. But let's see if we can do any better. We've asked our panel to open up their hearts and give us an original love song. To help us out, I'd like to introduce you to Armenian Rob, our guitar player. Yes. We're going to start out with the golden throat of Mr. Jimmy Shubert.
The golden set of pipes. Ah, here we go. Here's my love song, because I'm not in a caring relationship. I'll sing to the thing that gets me through. Porn. I love porn because I love a movie where the guy gets the girl in the end. And sometimes he gets the girl in the end. I love porn because it doesn't always need to know what I'm thinking. I love porn because it doesn't get mad when I've been out all night drinking. I love porn because I don't have to tell it its ass looks big in the dress. I love porn because it doesn't mind when I leave the house a mess. I love porn because it's never going to go, hey, get a towel, it's in my eye. I love porn.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful. Now up is Mr. James Norton.
Yes.
You ready, Joe Millionaire? Nice song. Baby, I'm sorry. I never should have put itching powder on your tampons or got your dad drunk and made out with him at that party. Baby, I'm sorry. I know I should have told you or wore a condom. There were better ways to let you know I have gonorrhea than yelling, tag, you're it, and laughing and pointing. Baby, I'm sorry. And when we broke up, I never should have started that rumor that your ass crack smells like the toe webbing of a Haitian marathon runner, even though it's true. Baby, I'm sorry.
You're very good. You're very good. Seeing you said country music stinks, that just proved you. All right, next up is great Proops.
Sorry. I'm still a little moved over Jim's song. I mean, that was sweet. It's baseball season and I love baseball, but my team from San Francisco lost to the Anaheim Angels last year in the World Series. This, of course, is a personal affront to people from San Francisco because we're cool and groovy and like gays and they're dicks. So I've written a little song about their mascot, the rally monkey, and it goes like this. Oh, I hate the rally monkey, and Barry Bonds does too. The monkey hates gays and Indians, and Asians and blacks and Jews. The monkey is a hateful fascist who supports the dominant paradigm. The rally monkey wants the corporate oligarchy to dominate your life. Oh, die, rally monkey. Die, you little bitch. Die in a humane, self-empowered way.
I could have heard a little dead influence too. All right, Patrice O'Neill.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, baby. That usually never happens. Hand me that tissue.
Good. That was very nice. In the words of Jay Giles and Jim Norton, love stinks. Good night.